Now this is an unexpected one. An anime about an unpopular otaku girl who spends her days alone and looks down with envy on other people. Sounds like my kind of woman. Not I'm gonna start college in a few days. It's just fitting to see a story about society anxiety unfold before my eyes. I usually prefer hot, sexy women as main characters, but given the story and circumstances, I'll make do with this awkward petite little girl. The anime is definitely a comedy, and more or less a parody of the standard everyday high school life. I like how naive and gullible the protagonist is. She spends her days on her computer, playing erotic games and fantasizing about guys. She also watches porn and other weird media. This is fun and interesting. I like watching the life of an introvert from a female perspective. I guess girls can be losers in life too. In my experience, guys seem to have the worst time in high school, but I guess even girls can have a hard time as well.
But everyone knows cabarets are cesspools for greedy bitches.
I like her perspective on life. She's so superficial and dumb when it comes to understanding the society she lives in. She judges the other female classmates and pretends to be better than them, objectifying and condemning their behavior.
I'm not jealous at all! Girls in cliques like that are just a bunch of boy-crazy morons!
She's obviously jealous of pretty people and only wants to also enjoy similar experiences. It's also very familiar to me how her fantasies tend to end up with sexual favors and other naughty scenarios.
What are you screwing around for? In the end, you'll go to his house anyway. Then you'll do it, and then things will get awkward, and then you'll break up.
When I was in high school, I was very naive. I actually believed all those unbelievable pornographic stories my classmates were telling me. Probably because I thought the world is all about sex in the bathroom and stuff. Well, I kinda still do believe that. I mean, people are definitely having orgies on the playgrounds, so yeah. I guess wisdom comes with old age, and now I'm a bit more enlightened when it comes to understanding the world we live in. Now I'm a bit more cautious when it comes to approaching women, and by that I mean I just give up on trying to talk to them. So yeah, it is fun to see someone struggle with the same prejudice I used to live as a teenager. She's definitely an unpopular girl, as people tend to not even realize she exists. Her classmates don't even bother to bully her. Damn, that's a sad existence. I mean, I guess it's better than being ridiculed. Again, guess I'd be rather rough in high school. First of all, you're a teenager, raging with hormones. And if you don't masturbate 5 times a day, cum will be bursting out of your nose, eyes and mouth. Ichigo will demonstrate. Second of all, puberty sucks. As your body is weak and scrawny, girls won't fuck you if you're in one of the few chads from class. And even then, she will monopolize your financial and social life. I don't envy high school life. Few people get to have a healthy life experience as a teenager. Our protagonist is definitely an example of how messed up and socially brutal life at that age can be. When it comes to her appearance, I guess she ain't that bad. She has some ugly wrinkles underneath her eyes, and her voice is deliberately high-pitched and annoying. But otherwise, I say she's kinda average. When I look at her more carefully, she can even be cute sometimes. It only gets worse when Tomoko is trying to change and improve her image. She usually ends up messing herself up. It becomes something out of a horror story.
What the? Who's this ugly freak?
Tomoko also has a brother. His name is Tomoki. Go figures. And he's a bit better when it comes to the look department. Probably because he has a more active lifestyle and tries to have friends for a change. I like their siblings dynamic. Tomoko is often trying to bond with her brother in regard to her social life and other girly stuff.
Oh no, don't go getting comfortable.
I'm your sister.
It's not fine. Get out of my room.
So he seems uninterested in hearing her complain about prejudice and society, while she herself is superficial and judgmental of others.
This is like some fatso's fast Drink order!
I guess life is like this sometimes. But it's nice to see that Tomoki is at least fair towards his sister. He understands the struggle she is going through. He seems to be a voice of reason whenever she is complaining about her predicaments. Now, as I said, Tomoko is very naive and perverted, but she manages to survive somehow. She used to have friends back in middle school. Her name is Yu Narase, and initially, she seems to have a lot in common with her main character. She used to be a dorky-looking girl.
I haven't seen her since graduation.
Now that she's in high school, her appearance changed. She has blonde hair now, and some pretty big boobs. That look good.
Hey, Makochi!
And it is a strong contrast with Tomoko, who seems to have remained just as immature and insecure as she was in middle school. Despite her radical makeover, Yu Naruse still regards Tomoko as her best friend. It was nice to see how much she values their friendship, and even looks up to her in some weird ways. Tomoko does indeed have an approachable and even somehow cheerful personality, due to her naive and eccentric behavior, so I can see why someone might want to be her friend. Tomoko is a relatable protagonist. I just love how shallow and mean she can be. But whenever I meet an otaku girl, she tends to be a short girl. This is why we call them shorties, I guess. Episode 2 has a very beautiful moment, and I'm referring to the scene at the end, where her childhood friend tells Tomoko she has a boyfriend. Such a powerful scene, as our otaku protagonist realizes how far ahead Yu-chan actually is. The dramatic song at the end was perfect for the tragic realization.
It was just my first fight with my boyfriend! I won't let it keep me down!
Speaking of songs, this time has a fitting opening theme. From the lyrics to the awesome visuals, this is indeed a great opening. It sets the tone for her inner struggle against the unfair restrictions of nature. Also, I appreciate the title sketches at the end. It's Tomoko and her brother attacking random subjects, pointless and weird, but I like it. Unlike Tokyo Ghoul, funny sketches at the end are appropriate for this title. The anime might get a bit too repetitive at some points, but I guess this is the shtick. How every day keeps on giving her something to complain about. Something else that's appropriate for her character is how she is kinda mean in her inner monologues. Quiet and introvert people tend to have superiority complex. It's a weird and natural combination. If you don't fit with others, you tend to convince yourself that the problem lies with the society rather than you.
Yeah, definitely.
Trust me, I have no friends. I know what I'm talking about. Episode 3 has the best example on how awkward and a social otaku are in real life. Tomoko tries to make small talk and be funny with random people, to initiate normal behavior, but the result is a cringe fest. She makes the weirdest remarks and worst jokes a girl could make.
I just thought I'd go take a dump outside that restroom.
Now, poop jokes might work for some dude, but her instance, it really makes her look bad. The show is also constantly making references to other popular anime.
Being a top-rate sniper requires a hunter's instinct and a woman's intuition.
It's a nice touch. It makes her look like an even greater nerd than was already established. I also like her brother and sister tension between Tomoko and Toki. And since the main cat is an otaku, it's all natural for her to have a brother complex.
Your sister's in her school uniform.
What's your point exactly?
Makes you excited, huh?
No way, man.
She even tries to use the anime cliché to boost her sex appeal in front of her sibling. Tomoki is some sort of a tsundere and definitely not interested in his sister. But it was fun to see Tomoko make a fool out of herself, or trying to seduce her brother. Speaking of which, the show does play a lot with the incest idea.
Shut up!
I mean, this is an anime after all. Since the main character has a sibling, it was only natural to have the forbidden tension between them. Tomoki claims he has no interest in his sister. In the later episodes, his mom reminds him that he used to want to marry Tomoko, as he was a bit younger.
When I grow up, I'm gonna be big and strong and marry you, big sister. You can!
This was a fun little touch, as we are indeed dealing with an anime and the messed up fantasies of a teenager. It is also kind of implied that Tomoko might have romantic feelings for her best friend, but she definitely admires her features and feminine appeal. Instead of envy, she seems to be taken by lust.
If I were her boyfriend,
Mokochi?
I'd totally have a boner all the time.
She's a damn fine-looking girl, innocent with a cute face, and some nice, bouncy round tits, so plump and perky. Very nice for her age. This is a slice of life kind of show, and not much changes character-wise. Tomoko stays pretty much the same, regardless of her encounters and experiences. This is the charm of the show after all. She remaining just as clueless and naive till the end. But she has time to mature and outgrow this phase, although I really enjoy Tomoko like this. After watching the anime, she is kinda attractive. Her personality makes her a lot of fun, and sometimes a fun girl is all I need to cure my depression. I give Watamote a 7.5 out of 10. It is a fun show, and a much appreciated peek into the perverted mind of a teenage girl.